Greetings. My name is Dr. Jeffrey Fletcher, and I am a education consultant in the Bureau of Career and Technical Education, Division of Community Colleges and Workforce Preparation in the Iowa Department of Education. I will be giving a quick 5 to 10 minute presentation on some slides here related to the work-based learning SCED reporting here in Iowa. Talking about how it relates to both the SRI and SCTERA systems and the connections between SRI and SCTERA, as well as, and then ultimately covering in depth the work-based learning SCED codes and how they will be reported between the two systems. Okay, so for those who are not familiar with SCED, SCED course codes, or formerly known as the School Courses for the Exchange of Data, is a alphanumeric system to capture course information. It is a nationwide effort, and here in Iowa, we use SCED codes for secondary class information. And for more information on how it integrates into the state reporting system, there's a web link here in this on slide number 2 that really goes into depth on how the SRI collection processes work, as well as the contact information for the consultants that lead the SRI collection project. In this PowerPoint, I will be covering just some of the more nuances or finer details on how the work-based learning SCED codes fit into the picture of CTE and reporting and CTE reporting here in Iowa. The 9 to 12 SCED code, course SCED codes are 11 characters in length total, and they have 4 main components. First, the course description consisting of a 2-digit subject area and 3-digit course identifier. A course level consisting of 1 alphabetic character in uppercase. Third level is Carnegie units expressed as a 3-digit number. For example, 0.50 equals 050, half credit, or a half of a Carnegie unit. And the fourth main component is a 2-digit sequence representing a count of the number of times you reuse the first 5 digits for courses with different content, or used to indicate first term, second term of a year-long course, etc. And here is just a visual representation of information covered on the previous slide. As you can see here, we have a subject area, course number area, the course level, credit, grade span, and sequence. Okay, so when we're talking about CTE SCED data and information in light of the SRI collection, and this would include WBL CTE data. So WBL CTE data is going to flow same way as it does with other course information, except these SCED codes will be WBL specific. It is critical that during the SRI collection period that any work-based learning SCED code with its accompanying students who are enrolled in that class or that course is flagged with area 9 for career and technical education, known as or commonly referred to as CTE. This is a critical step because if the WBL SCED codes are reported in SRI and tagged with a 9, that means that information is going to be bucketed into CTE, and those WBL courses will flow into our secondary CTE reporting application, also known as SCTERA. On this slide, I do want to reference additional documentation that goes into depth the SCED codes for work-based learning, and these 2 documents have been developed by consultants in our team For example, Christy Valesky, our work-based learning consultant. And if you look at the first document, it is organized by a list of SCED codes to be used for the courses used for the work-based learning secondary indicator of Perkins 5. This is how we will track those courses and calculate the performance indicator of work participation in work-based learning. And this document will show that the occupational areas containing STEM work-based learning experiences, and where applicable, an asterisk is provided next to the SCED title. There is also another guidance document I'd like to reference in this presentation, and that is a Perkins 5 SCED codes for reporting PowerPoint, also developed by Christy Valesky. I want to point out again that the IDE, the Iowa Department of Ed, will be querying specific WBL SCED codes outlined in these documents. And this entire effort is to systematize and streamline how we collect work-based learning course activity. Okay, again, so with work-based learning SCED data and SCTERA, WBL, work-based learning SCED data, is going to be collected via SRI with that identifier of 9 for CTE. And after that step is complete, that information is then exported or flows into our SCTERA application, the secondary CTE reporting application, via it's a one-way directional data connection. Data flows from SRI into SCTERA. At that point, once that information is in the SCTERA application system, such WBL identified courses can then be loaded into CTE programs within that portal through the annual winter SCTERA work of adding courses into programs. On this slide, just additional information on how SRI is used for the secondary CTE reporting application. You'll notice a diagram here, just again reinforcing that WBL SCED data is first imported into the student reporting in Iowa system, and then through various mechanisms, one way that data flows into our secondary CTE reporting application. And the SRI system, again, is the basis for extracting WBL CTE data, those SCED codes, into the secondary CTE reporting application system. SCTERA is also used to develop the data required, or the data that will be needed for our annual consolidated report to the feds, also known as the CAR report. And this is how we will report on our performance for a variety of federal Perkins accountability performance indicators. And I will cover in specifically what that performance indicator is for work-based learning. On this screen, you'll see this is just an example of a screenshot taken from the secondary CTE reporting application system. You'll notice down below what's in this red box here is last SRI collection date. So this date shows, this is a timestamp of when information from SRI was imported into SCTERA. So again, that would be all courses that were identified with a 9 for CTE. And this column here, program units, highlighted in the red outline box, shows the units that make up each of the CTE strands or CTE programs. Diving a little deeper, for each program, within these little book icons is the course, the courses the course information that makes up, that encompasses the program. So here's an example of a CTE program, Accounting Technology Technician Bookkeeping. And you'll notice that these courses here, because they use the SCED codes from Christie's guidance document, we know that these are work-based learning courses, and more specifically, within that realm of work-based learning courses, we have our MOC courses here with units, where it's taught, or where it's being offered, programs being offered, and the students enrolled. So, what is SCTERA data used for? Well, for one instance, our SCTERA information is used for Perkins 5 accountability. And on this PowerPoint slide, there's a couple links here that will, this first link will take you to what's called the PCRN, or Perkins Collaborative Resource Network, and it's everything about accountability. Second link here is a guidance document, or kind of a, what I call a quick handout, that walks through the numerator and denominator definitions for all the secondary Perkins 5 performance indicators. And you'll see what's highlighted here at the bottom. Everything discussed in this PowerPoint and the additional guidance materials developed by Christy Valesky are related to 5S3 program quality measure participated in work-based learning. This slide shows what these are, shows what's our state's determined levels of performance. So these are state level targets. And again, for this presentation, we are talking about work-based learning. And here in the last row, you can see what our state targets are for work-based learning. We calculated in the development of our state plan, we calculated that our baseline was at 6%, meaning we calculated that approximately 6% of our secondary CTE student concentrators were participating in work-based learning as defined by the federal legislation. You'll see that our state goals are for an annual increase of 1% per year to 10% by federal fiscal year 2023, or which is the last year of our state plan. And so systematizing the SCED codes and streamlining the SCED codes, we hope will enable better reporting, more accurate reporting statewide at the state level, and then also for all of our school districts here in Iowa. That concludes this brief presentation and PowerPoint. If you have any questions on the SRI system or SCTERA reporting system application, please reach out to me at jeffrey.fletcher@iowa.gov or call me at 515-321-7309. Again, if you have any questions on Perkins 5 accountability, federal reporting, as well as Perkins monitoring, please reach out to me. For any specific questions related to the SCED codes by service area or program, please get in touch with Christy Valesky. Thank you.